Ask You. Man, we've got a great topic going on today. It is all season jerkbait fishing. That's right. You know, a lot of jerkbait fishing, you kind of, tend to think about it for early springtime fishing. But I got to tell you, the jerkbait is a great all-season bait. Wintertime, post-spawn. A lot of people don't talk about jerkbait fishing and post-spawn. We'll talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about jerkbait fishing in the fall. We're going to talk about some different techniques and ways that we like to work this bait to elicit strikes, and just some of these baits in themselves. So let's get right to it, man. Jerkbait fishing. Real dear to my heart. I live at Lake Amistad, clear water body, and clear water lakes are jerkbait lakes, man. That's just, part of what comes with a great slash bait or jerkbait is clear water. Works really well. Can you use it in stained, dingy water? For sure, no problem at all. But it really, really excels in clear water situation. Also, muddy water fishing jerkbait, probably not my first, second, or even third choice to throw in a muddy water situation, but there are some fish that you can catch on a jerkbait sometimes, but specifically in muddy water, fish tend to really get tight to cover. Tough place to throw a jerkbait. So clear water conditions, semi-clear water conditions, great conditions for jerkbait fishing. I'm partial to this particular lure right here. This is the IMA Flit 120. The IMA Flit 120 has some great techniques. Or slash in the water. It slashes very wide, really wide slash, so it has a lot of movement to it, and I think the fish really like it. Obviously a real popular jerkbait's the mega bass. If I want to get a little bit deeper, trying to get in that 8 to 9 foot range, that's when I'm going to use a mega bass +1. So that's when I'm going to use this bait right here. Although the IMA Flit, is probably going to help me in 80% of my applications. So if I'm trying to locate fish or catch fish that I know are in that 6 to 7 foot range, this is the bait. If I want to try and work it a little bit shallower, I'm going to upsize my line to maybe 15-pound test fluorocarbon. But in general, for jerkbait fishing, I'm going to jerkbait fish with 10 and 12-pound test. In the dead of winter, I can move down to 8-pound if I'm open water situation, no other cover around. I might go to 8-pound test, but for a general situation, I'm going to use that 12 and 10-pound fluorocarbon. So that's kind of the setup you want to use as far as line goes. Let's talk real quick about the rod setup. Rod is critical. Reel, we'll go there first. I like to use a 7 to 1. It's, really with jerkbait fishing, it's 90% about your rod. Your reel is generally only for winding in a fish and reeling up slack. So you're not using it a whole lot to elicit action to the bait. Most of the action that you're going to elicit to the bait is coming from the rod itself. This is a PAL 702 rod. It's generally a medium to medium heavy, but I really kind of stretch on that heavy. It's really a medium action rod, kind of a light rod. And the reason for that, we've talked some in the past, and I know some of the instructors have talked about rod action. This particular rod is kind of, you want 60% backbone and 40% tip. The reason for that tip is really important on how that jerkbait's going to work through the water column.